every time I start a new project, there's always a goal of making it technically better than the last one. That's always a huge goal. And for this one, especially with sound, I tried to find a way that the same setup I used for recording audio for music is something that I could use for, recording in film. And the next project, I'm going to try to find a way to make that more portable and, so I don't have to carry equipment in the same way. But, that's something that's so important. And with cinematography and trying to find ways to better that part of my art, filmmaking is a very technical thing. And with editing, there's so much editing that you can do that, you can mess things up in post, and there's so many processes that I've learned through doing this kinds of stuff. And so every project I do, I try to make sure that it's technically better than the last one. And I think The Best Medicine succeeds in that.
The Best Medicine is much better than The Raven, just on every aspect of production.
And another thing is just the amount of shots and takes we get. We'll get a good take, and it's like, all right, well, let's try that again. Or like, let's do that again, but with a different inflection. And so that's the persistence of it.
There's certain times where I take what I do seriously, but that doesn't mean that I'm always the most serious person. As a director, you do have to think about like, okay, are we on schedule? Do we have enough time? Are we efficient? It's like you have to think about all these things. Is the camera pointed the right way? You got to think about all these things. Is the audio coming in at a good level? But when you're, that's all the things that you think about. And I like to think that I do a good job of, being a fun director. I feel like I feel like how moms are, it's like, like I'm a fun mom, right? That's kind of how I feel as a director, but I think that we've succeeded in having a good time.
Cannot stress enough how serious and powerful the scene is. No jokes, no laughs.
I joke, but I you can't help but wonder if people are having a good time. And obviously, it's like, we've gotten the same cast back for, so much of my projects have a similar makeup of cast, and we're making this all as friends, and we're all having a great time doing it. And we all have a great time seeing these things be made. I think everyone's having fun. I think they are, but there's also been all these just fun moments that'll happen where, as an actor director, there's times when I'll be in costume and you go, oh, the Joker's directing the movie today. Who let him on set? All right, so let's go a little bit before that. So today GCN is featuring an interview with Buzz Bronski, who is allowed to come here after turning himself in to the local authorities. So let's start with that. Okay. I never thought I'd turn myself in, but it's not about me anymore.
I want Gotham to know the truth.
All right, I want you to put in that. I want to do the right thing. So that was a good take, though.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
I like a little bit of stuttering just because it's like you're feeling the guilt. So that it's fine that masks some of the, maybe not knowing the line 100%. So that's good. You can work with it.
All right. I like the idea, the spirit, but I also just wanted to get paid. The group under the...
One of the big things that we needed to work on was just taking that next step toward better production quality. Because with The Raven, things were definitely improving. They were so much better than any of the other films that Joe had created, but they weren't quite there, and so I think The Best Medicine was sort of taking that next step to reaching the production quality that we really want to end up with, and I think something particular to The Raven that we wanted to improve upon was just sort of flow from scene to scene, and making sure that even though each scene told a story in itself, it also told a complete story overall. Everything just took a huge leap forward, even though you really think about it, it's really small leaps forward, but the difference that you can tell from that little extra bit of effort is absolutely tremendous. I know sound was a huge thing that improved across those two movies. Overall cinematography improved a little bit, but you can tell a huge difference in how it looks. Personally, I like the CinemaScope aspect ratio, and so that may have just been a little thing that doesn't really matter, but it made a big difference to me.
As far as technical improvements, I would say the cinematography in The Best Medicine is better. I would say you, as the director, took more creative, less straightforward shots that I think ended up furthering the themes, I guess. you can use cinematography to go beyond the surface level, and cinematography can be used to subtly tell more of the story. And I think in The Best Medicine we did a good job of that. And the editing, I would say, is better in The Best Medicine. You obviously in The Raven, almost every shot was a close-up of someone's face. At times those kind of shots are appropriate and good, but it's important to diversify the kind of shots that you're doing. It's important to have wide shots, close-up shots, whatever. It's important to utilize the different shots that you can use.
Cinematography is something where, ever since I started doing films, I've never really thought of myself as a huge cinematography guy. And I tried to outsource cinematography as much as I could, and sometimes I pray for the day where I'll be able to completely just rely on somebody else for it. But at the same time, it's like, while I didn't start doing things incredibly visually, obviously visuals are always a part of filmmaking. And while I still say that the meat of a movie is the dialogue, is the character interaction. It's what's happening, not how it's shown happening. It's still what's happening to me. That's still more important as a writer, but at the same time, through cinematography, there's so much stuff that you can do, and there's stuff that I'm learning about all the time with each movie I do. So it's an art that I super respect, and it's something that I've had a great deal of fun learning about. So, and I like to think that I've gotten better as a cinematographer for each movie that I've done. So it is a great deal of fun, and that's exciting as a filmmaker, that there's always something new to learn.